I'm curious what, Superintendent, your reaction is to the attack at Southern Guilford, where five people who are not affiliated with that campus got inside a building and attacked a 14-year-old student. I know that we've reported on this, and what your reaction is to that, and was policy followed that day, and should there have been a lockdown?
I didn't hear the last part of it. I heard you say my reaction and then something else. The last part of your question, please.
Yes, ma'am. So your reaction to that incident, and was policy, district policy followed that day, and should there have been a lockdown at the school?
Yeah, so clearly it's very disturbing that an adult would encourage young people to come to a school to fight, attack another student instead of resolving conflict in a different way, instead of telling the administrators and school officials that there was a problem. Based on our conversations with the sheriff's department, yes, the policies, school policies and procedures were followed. Doors were locked. These individuals were helped into the building and were escorted to the classroom. And those that assisted them are being addressed both by the district code of conduct, and my understanding is through the judicial system as well, as is appropriate. But did the staff follow all of their safety procedures and protocols? Absolutely. Is this a difficult situation when there are individuals helping to allow individuals into a school building? It certainly is. And when you have a grown-up, an adult, a mother who is contributing to this, it makes it more difficult. But yes, the administration followed procedures.
So first thing I wanted to piggyback on Tyler. He had sort of a multi-part question, but I think one of his questions was about lockdowns and whether in hindsight a lockdown might have been appropriate in that situation, and how you think about lockdowns if there's, possibly like a group of people attacking a student in a class or something like that.
Yeah, so generally speaking, I would say a lockdown is appropriate. The incident is still under investigation, so I can't really speak to every detail of what happened, but I would say generally speaking, when there is a large fight, a school is placed on lockdown. That is a normal procedure.
I also wanted to ask about, you had a number of schools that did a pilot program with a one card situation where students would show or swipe an ID when they came into class. Generally a pilot is, you're kind of checking it out to see, is this good? Does it work? Is it going to be, something that's reasonable to expand to other schools? What have you learned from the schools where you tried it? Did it seem to be working well, or was it kind of maybe not something that you all are so interested in?
Yes, we intend to continue with the one card program. I think that there are many components of the one card initiative that aren't completely in place. So swiping in is not in place yet. The wearing the ID is in place. It's a multi-million-dollar initiative that was not completely funded. We are going to be able to have the machines that allow every student to swipe in to a building once the fall begins.
I wanted to make sure I understood what you were saying in relation to the pilot program.
Totality, all schools have the one card, the actual ID itself. Every school has that. Schools, we also have a pilot where you swipe onto the bus for certain schools, but not all schools have the piece where you can swipe in yet, but we will have that for 100% of the schools in the fall. Again, I have to keep stressing this because I want to make sure you all understand this. In this incident, they were helped into the school by Southern students. The bell had just rung. The layout of the school is such that the office is not at the front door. It's a school built in the 70s, which is one of the reasons we have argued that Southern Guilford High School should be rebuilt. Many of you were at the meeting, the joint facilities meeting, where two of the members there argued that Southern should not be rebuilt. After we argued that the school poses safety issues when the office is in the middle of the school, because there's no clear line of vision to watch who's coming into that building.